probably has a little bit of ways to go before that can come into play. All right, and then management. So this is management that they were doing in Thailand, and we were like, wow, this is never going to fly in North America. But one of the major things they do is keep small hives. So we opened these hives, and I was like, where's the bees? Like this is like a strong, this is a strong hive in Thailand. Same with this one. So there's maybe like 5 to 7 frames in a colony, and then they'll usually have a feeder, maybe like 3 to 4 frames of brood, barely any bees. And like when I went into these, I was like, oh my God, these would die. Like there was no way these would make it through winter. They would more than likely die if they were in Canada. But in Thailand, they can make it because the weather's a lot nicer. So you don't need as many like bees to keep that brood warm. Like at one point, we went to one operation, and the lady was like, yeah, the bees aren't really out today, it's just too cold. And it was like 20 degrees Celsius, and I was like, oh my God, in Alberta it'd be like insanity. Like you'd be like going through, yeah, it was just night and day, the size of the colonies there. It is. So they kind of slow things down in the off season. So this was the off season, and then they ramp things up right before the honey flow for them. So they'll start feeding syrup to build the colonies up, and that's another way that they're able to manage for it. I'm not sure if they do this. I don't think they do, but this is some of the work that's being done by Rogan Tokash, and it's brood breaks. So employing brood breaks to basically, we know, or we think that they can only survive on adults for three days. So if you have a brood break in the colony and the brood hatches out, you give it that 21 days to hatch out, then those mites, basically you'll decrease the mite level because they're not going to have anywhere to reproduce, and they're not going to have anything to feed off of. So this is a method. And then they were employing brood breaks also with a treatment. Again, I don't know if beekeepers will be doing this if it came, excuse me, into Canada or North America. And I know in my head, I was like, well, we have natural brood breaks because of the winter, but I think if you ask most beekeepers, they'll say, no, there's never really a brood break. There's always some brood in the hive. It might not be a lot, but all you need is a little bit. And depending on the season or the time of the year or how nice it is, we've seen like a couple frames of brood in December. So this might be an option for if it does come into the country and we need, instead of say like burning colonies, hey, how about we implement a huge brood break period followed by treatments, maybe shook swarms, where you cage the queen for a couple days just so you can get rid of the brood instead of killing the entire colony and all the bees. Like just a different way to kind of eradicate it without killing a bunch of bees and like potentially wiping beekeepers out of business. We don't want to do that. Other things they use was